I need to get one of those dryers for my own office. It'd be fantastic.
All right, Tim, welcome to the show. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, all right. Well, pleasure to be here. This is great.
All right, fantastic. So your position is product manager for the F series, correct?
Yeah, I get to be the guy behind the scenes, but we work a lot with, I miss some of the trade shows, but these events are great to hear people's feedback. I work directly with the engineers and be able to bring these products to the market for us. So, a lot of what we do is really based on what we hear from customers, what they want. And then I'm able to take that and help turn that into products that, what we have today and also what we have to come.
Well, we appreciate you at Equipment Zone for all the times that we give you a call saying, "Hey, is this right?" or "What's?" and you come back with all these detailed information we can share with our customers. So we appreciate that very much. Okay. So Tim, the F2100 and before that the F2000, they were rock solid. Where did the concept of the F3070 come from?
Well, it's it's not something that just came out of the blue. We were all, having a beer and just going, hey, let's do something like this. Epson's been doing in the textile space since about 2003 with some different types of products. And we've been learning as we go. And you're right, we brought the F21 or F2000 out in late 2013. The F2100 came in there. And the value for that was really, when we started, it was about, we heard a lot of customers saying, there's so much maintenance and it's so difficult. You got to do everything just right to be able to get a print onto a garment. And those printers have really focused. The 2000 was broke through so many different issues in the industry to do that, to make it easier to use and do that. The 2100 has made that faster, easier at other parts. But the big reason on the 3070, we know customers are doing things. What's been going on? We look at what's happening in the market, and I know we said not to get too much into stories, so I'll try to do my best here.
You can tell a story; it's all right.
But you look at what
now.
Yeah, well, in the market, people are doing stuff there. They use DTG as a lot of screen printers still today will use DTG as a great way to do short runs. And the 2100 is great if you got a 3-color job and someone's asking for 24 shirts. It's faster and cheaper to do it with the F2100 than it would be to go out, burn screens, set up your press, do all the, get everything registered, ready to go and do that. You can do it more cost efficiently with the 2100. And what we're seeing in the market is there's a continued shift to customers aren't looking for these big 1,000-shirt runs or bigger. There's a trend that's going towards shorter runs. And, that's lower inventory. You're not holding all this inventory. You just have just enough. And so instead of ordering 1,000 shirts at a time, maybe the stores our shops are only ordering, 50 shirts at a time. And that way they're not tying up as much money, but also trends change. Fortunately, the customers have been doing digital printing or used to it with what, in the last, 12 months here, the world's been flipped upside down. Right. People are shifting and they want that flexibility. Digital has given them the ability to do DTG printing has been giving them, they can change and pivot from doing big t-shirts and big runs to, hey, we're not doing Little League today, but we're going to be doing, I'm working from home. I got my work from home shirt on. So we saw all these market trends happening, and just to kind of keep it short, what we saw is the F3070. We saw customers using F2100s. They would put several of them together to be able to bump it up to get higher production. Right. And really, the printer can do that, but we really wanted to build a printer that was truly built for production, more industrial level, high production printing, and that's where the F3070 comes in. And if someone's doing those screen printing runs, where the F2100 was great for doing 20, 30 shirts, we can do it more cost efficiently. The F3070 is pushing that out now to a job run of the same shirts, trying to do that up to 100, 150 shirts. You can do that more cost efficiently with the 3070 than you could doing that with screen printing. And certainly if you want the variability, you want every shirt to be unique, it's got that speed and that capability. So the product really came out here is there's a need in the market. The only way to do stuff like that in the past has been these machines that are $500,000 machines or more. It's not honestly, most of us aren't able to just, write a check for that. And so this product really came in here is how do we get this in here where we can help customers grow and their business can thrive and really bring in a big brother to our F2100.
Tim, I just wrote an article for Impressions Magazine. It's not even out yet. And I know that Jay also is doing a blog post on this. but there's a new hybrid decorator out there, somewhere between that one-off direct-to-garment printer, or maybe vinyl, or maybe transfers, and that quantity screen printer, running automatic presses.
Mhm.
There's a new hybrid decorator who's servicing those accounts, just like you said, where a department store, they don't want to buy 10,000 pieces and risk sending 9,900 of them to their outlet store.
Yep.
They want to order 100 of them. They want to order 200 of them, but they want to do it every other week. So I think that there's a new decorator out there in the marketplace to fill that need. So who did you build this machine for? Who is that customer?
You're right. So certainly the F2100 is not going anywhere. That we love that printer, and that is great for entrepreneurs, for screen printers that want to add in that short run. But really where this comes in is customers that are doing larger runs, the e-commerce fulfillment, where people are shopping online and they're getting 1,000 orders for one shirt, but 1,000 different orders. They need that speed, that flexibility that's in there. But also shops that want to be able to produce bigger runs. Maybe they don't want to look at investing in an automatic screen press. This gives them that flexibility where they can switch between printing T-shirts and then putting other types of items in there. Virtually unlimited color range. This is geared really for producers. People already have an established business, but getting into and going, how do we scale it up from doing shorter runs in this? We really want to become more efficient. They may have 2 or 3 printers today. How do they do this and consolidate it down? And a big reason for it is, and I won't go too much into this one, but one of the big reasons is as you start getting more and more, you have a bunch of these little printers going, or you have these big machines. One of the big driving factors for those producers, they're very aware of the cost of printing and labor. Everybody's, you see the news every day. Labor costs aren't probably going to be going down, and so the cost per employee. So if you look at how do you make this more productive, how do you make a better use of your time, make your employees more efficient? That's where companies are looking at that, where they have staff to do this. You can be able to have your employees become more productive, where you don't need to be. You can keep your costs low so you still can be competitive. If you're thinking of that already, you're probably looking closer to that F3070 type product would be a good fit.
And Tim, for screen printers, the bread and butter is 1 and 2 and 3 color work. I think though that simulated process decorator, I think that craft is going to go kind of by the wayside. I think that when people get those full color images rather than set up screens to do it, I think they're going to use this technology.
Absolutely right. I think I got to be honest, the screen printers that can do that process color and make it look good, that's an art. Wow, those guys,
Thank you.
Pat on the back, that is good work. That is not typically what most people can do. Getting the registration right is there. And that's where with digital, it's print, boom. It doesn't, you don't have to, what Dane did with that tiger, boom, there's no trying to get that vibrancy and that detail. You can do that with digital with really little effort to do that. Whereas with screen printing, it takes a craftsman to be able to do that level. And you're right, they probably want to put their time towards making some money and making more product.
Right.
And
yeah,
that's
I think maybe 2 or 3% of screen printers really have that technical ability. So, and I think that 1 and 2 and 3 color work that Jim Stowing service, I think that's always going to be there for screen printers. But I think that same screen printer is going to be using something more like the F3070 to do that higher end work. So, one of the prohibitions of doing direct to garment for some of these larger volumes was cost. So talk to us a little bit about the bulk ink system.
Sure. I've kind of put it together. Cost, there's a lot of things that come together to drive your costs. Certainly bulk ink, or ink, I guess we'll just call it ink to start with, is always a good portion. You got labor costs is one, you got your materials, ink is definitely one. With our F3070, one of the big things that we've done with that is how do we package this up, be able to do this in a good way. The first thing people will notice with our bulk ink is the price to be able to print is significantly lower. So one, we're packaging more ink into a sealed pack, but they'll see the lower price, but there's a lot of other benefits. These sealed packs, first of all, they're about 90% less waste that goes into, when you break that down, compared to a cartridge, it's about 90% less waste. So definitely much better. There's a lot less volume that goes to a landfill. But that's not all. The other part is they're completely sealed. The ink is degassed, it's sealed, it's packed in there. There's no mess. Your operator can simply put it in. There's no getting ink on your hands. There's no waste with it. You don't have to go through any filtration system. That's all done in that pack. And we're keeping that same thing that Epson's unique for, that it's still a 2-year shelf life on those ink packs.
Exactly.
Especially as you start getting more production volume, if business takes a turn for unexpected reasons like we've encountered, and someone's offline for a month or two, or they just don't have the volume there, a lot of customers that have been using other types of inks are noticing their inks are congealed and basically turned into gel that they can't use. Having that long-term shelf life, sealed inks, they can pull it out, in 2022, and they know it's going to work for them. So
that's awesome.
It's a big thing.
So talk to us a little bit about the process and print times and along those lines, wait times, because that's not something that people don't necessarily take into account. They come to a trade show back when we did trade shows and just do their stopwatch, but they didn't do the stopwatch for how much time there was between shirts. So talk to us a little bit about that. That,
by all means, I can't stress enough. It's always good to see it. Print time is not productivity. And coming from a manufacturer, this is probably going to sound a little odd, but when people say, hey, it only takes me 20 seconds to print a shirt, but then I'm waiting for 20 seconds for the garment to be loaded on and an operator load it, 20 seconds for the data file to load, get to the printer. The printer's got 20 seconds of preparation to do things in. You got 10 seconds of moving a garment in there. You can see the print time is only a small portion of the actual throughput time on a garment. And so what we've done on our system, and I know there's going to be some demos coming up, so I won't spoil too much, but we've really tried to streamline as much as we can. So we're kind of like, we start sending data to the printer. It's kind of, instead of waiting till all the data is received, we're kind of like Netflix in the sense where as soon as the data starts streaming to the printer's ready to go. You can press the start button. It starts pulling that garment in. It does a thing. It makes it easy to load the garment. There's a hoop system that makes it easy to slide on a garment onto the printer very easily, fast to have it aligned right. The garment pulls in, the printer automatically, what does is this thing called a garment thickness optimization. So it creates a profile map of what the garment looks like. So it could tell where a pocket is or where there's a dips and valleys. And it's going to automatically set the print heads to the right spot. No user intervention required. So you don't have to fiddle with, if you're going from a sweatshirt to a t-shirt to a pocket shirt, you don't need to go through and manually adjust the platen heights. It's not just a garment height thing. It's actually looking and optimizing the print quality to where it's going to print on the garment. So not just the highest point, but it's actually looking at the largest area. That's being done as the garment's being pulled in. The printer's also doing its own, any of its pre-print routine while that's happening at the same time. So as soon as that garment gets to the end, we're ready to begin printing. It starts going. We got dual heads in there. So we're putting down one head is dedicated nothing but just white ink. And it's putting that down first, letting it have a chance to set up. And then farther up, as that garment keeps moving up, there's a second head that's in there that's putting down that color ink. It's doing that all in one pass. Cool thing is we're still keeping our variable droplet size technology in our garment. We're optimizing that height. So we're keeping the quality that Epson's known for, but tremendously speeding up that whole process. And I'm not talking, this isn't the fastest mode, but on a typical garment, full size garment from the collar line down to the belt buckle, 14 by 16, the time it takes is about a minute in our standard print quality on a dark garment where we're putting down white and colors and getting good photographic print quality out, good vibrant vector graphics, pop with this. It takes about a minute. Now that's a minute to print, and that's from starting the button till the print garment comes all the way out. Still have to load and unload. So don't think a minute means that it's 60 shirts an hour. You still have to load and unload a garment in there. But because it can be done quickly, the machine's able to go through and be able to produce full-size garments at about 50 garments an hour on a single printer.
And also anybody that has an F2000 out there, anybody that has an F2100, all the platens are interchangeable.
Oh, yeah. The software is very similar. So it's the same look and feel. The platens are all interchangeable. One you do with one or the other. And it's kind of exciting. We've come up with some new platens and the new grip pads and some of the platens that you have as well. If you already have them, you can use them on either system interchangeably.
Fantastic. So I heard a rumor that Epson's giving away a prize here for this event. Is that true?
Sure. So one of the things that we have
Sure.
is, yes, yeah, it is. Well, you put me on the spot, so I guess, yeah, now it is. One of the things that we have, and it's one of the things we see that in talking with a lot of customers that we're finding that do garment printing, they also do some other types of things like promotional product items, be able to do some types of photo work. We have a new product that we just recently introduced. It's a relatively small format, but it's a desktop dye sublimation system. It's a great complement. So if you're doing t-shirts and you want to be able to have keychains, or you want drink koozies to go along with it, we have a new little product called the SureColor F170 that today that, we'll leave it at, I know that however you guys want to raffle that, we'll have that as a giveaway for one lucky contestant here.
Fantastic. That's awesome. We appreciate that. So, hey, and Tim, thanks so much for joining us. I hope you can hang around for the virtual cocktail hour and spend a little time talking with some of our listeners.